he focuses on the stuff, the back to the Egyptian Kemetic stuff. Then he'll go into a book here and a book there, but most of his information he gets from books, and he'll tell you that. And most of those books that he gets, that he pays money for, most of the majority of the authors are Edomites, mainly so-called Jew. Them crackers in them different universities that write them books about the antiquity of the Egyptians and Kemet and other nations in the ancient world, going back to the ancient world, are mostly, for the most part, so-called Jews. They control all those archaeological departments of all those different universities. The so-called Jew is behind it in one way or another. And they do that to keep that damn lie going, man. And they got suckers like you that get them books and to praise that ancient history of the Kemet and the Ma'at and all that bullshit. And the so-called Jew, he's still calling himself a so-called Jew. So here you are, you dumbass, reading out a book that a so-called Jew wrote. This guy claims to be a Jew, but you don't believe in the Jews. You don't believe that they existed. But here the guy writing the book is an actual, claims to be a Jew or Israelite. How stupid is that? You're the real Jew. And you're the real Jew, fool.
Yeah, here's more proof. Now, this is found in America. It's known as the Los Lunas. All right, the stone, the commandment stone that is located at a place called Los Lunas, New Mexico. It says America's ancient Indians called it the Cliff of the Strange Writings. It has been named Phoenician Rock, going back to the writing, which was of Phoenician stock. Okay, it has been named Phoenician Rock or the Commandment Stone, and it's a take on the Ten Commandments. It is called today Inscription Rock, located west of Los Lunas. The word luna means moon. New Mexico, at the base of Los Lunas. That means city of the moon, right? Yeah. Like Los Angeles is city of angels. Los Lunas would be city of the moon, New Mexico, at the base of Mystery Mountain. The moons, right? The moons. Also called Hidden Mountain. This rock has been raising some eyebrows. It says the strange chiseled characters on the volcanic basalt rock were undecipherable by America's early European settlers and to the native Indians, hence the mountain's name, Mystery. The local residents have been made aware by the Indians of the unusual inscription as early as the year 1800. Now, you'll see a picture of the rock. You can clearly see that the symbols are what is called today Paleo-Hebrew, or also Phoenician Hebrew. All right, and I'll just read a little more. It says, the stone preserves an abbreviated form of the Ten Commandments as written in Exodus, the 20th chapter. Now, this is found here in New Mexico, America, proving that the people that dwelt among there, the so-called Indians, were Israelites. If not, why was a stone found in that area, which today they can't explain how the stone got there? All right, it's a mystery, and they can't. Yeah, you've had scientists over the years since it was discovered in 1800, as early as 1800. They've been trying to chisel it out of there, and they can't do it. You know, they've even used today's laser technology. They still can't get the stone out of there. The stone preserves an abbreviated form of the Ten Commandments as written in Exodus 20, which is very exciting. But what makes the stone an enigma, another word for enigma is mystery, is the fact that the writing is clearly Shemitic in origin. The ancient Hebrew inscriptions were once thought to be a combination of Greek, Hebrew, and Phoenician characters, but now are clearly seen as a form of Hebrew writing, dating to approximately 1000 BC.
So, Shaka Amos, stop sleeping, man. And now I'm going through this book. Hey, this is a bad book, man. It says the New International Dictionary of Biblical Archaeology. You know. Hey, this is something that you shy. Look, I got this book here. I got this new book. You can't get this book. Hey, but now check this out. Go ahead. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
One more thing that has to be read. It says just how. Now this ain't Wikipedia. This source is called the Los Lunas inscription, because a lot of people knock Wikipedia. You say, oh, you get your sources from Wikipedia. It says just how were historians to explain how a 70-ton boulder with Hebrew inscription appeared on this mountain landscape in North America around 1000 BC.
That's got it. Well, you just said it, right? Yeah, that goes back to the time of King Solomon, Hiram of Abiff, which in their records, the Sumerian records, they acknowledge King Solomon, that he existed. But they try to say that Hiram, they were on the same level as brothers, which...
No, Hiram of Abiff was a Canaanite.
Right.
Got to read one more thing. I'm sorry. Hey, well, like Elder Tar said, this thing is vast, man. Can't just read one statement and sum it all up. It says, over 2,000 years before Columbus discovered America, which Columbus never discovered America. Columbus never even made it here. That's a lie. There were people of Shemitic origin in New Mexico worshiping the God of Israel. So that's a cut to you, Shaka Utmos, Amos, whatever the hell your name is. All right? There were people of Shemitic origin in New Mexico worshiping the God of Israel. How can this possibly be reconciled with known history? It is seemingly apparent that the financial backing to launch a Hebrew-Phoenician voyage of world exploration, we can go into the ships of King Solomon's Navy expedition ships, could have readily occurred during the reign of King Solomon of Israel. Solomon worshipped the true power of Israel and had the means to fund explorative voyages to other lands. With Solomon's main port being located on the Red Sea, it would be difficult to explain how his fleet would have entered America through the Atlantic drainage. And then they give you the scripture. First
They're
Kings.
actually telling you that Solomon had a navy that went to America.
Yeah,
You know,
and they show
there's
you
a scripture.
Yep.
Oh, I got to look it up. Maybe y'all know where it was a cycle back and forth, and I believe it said it took a year and a half, and it goes hand in hand with the Apocrypha. But I want the account of Solomon.
Oh man, Elder Tar.
Hey, see, that's the history, man. See, you can't be a simple-minded Negro and come into Israel and you learn 3 scriptures and all of a sudden you call yourself an elder. You know?
Yeah.
You got to get deep into this thing, man.
You got to get into it.
You got to get. We covered. Hey, that's why.
Yeah.
That's why Nate. I got to mention Nate. That's why he tried to buck up against us with the new moon thing and call us lunatics. But then we made a count, and then he made a count, and he stopped doing it. Look, man. We got the information, man. Okay. We know. See, we know something that you don't know. Number one, back in the Roman Empire during the time of Yahweh Shai and the Israelites. You overlooked the fact that the Romans had an 8-day week. You didn't know that?
That's right.
You see?
Yeah, they had a different calendar, which I guarantee you that you guys don't even know what the word calendar means.
Well, let's not. We promise ourselves we're not going to stay on Nate, you know. But I just had to mention him.
If I may mention, which the word calendar comes from the practice that the Romans had called calends. All right, now calends was usually fell on the first day of the month. This was when all the debts were due. And they were called calends. As a matter of fact, the Italian word is calare, which means to call in. All right? So, like Elder Tar.
Because when your rent is due, at the first of the month, you
Yep.
get that slip under your door. They slip that slip under your door.
That's
and
right.
they give you the amount. You know what the amount is. You know you got to pay the rent, but they do everything by records. And they slip that slip under your door, man.
That's right.
Okay, you got to pay the credit card company. They send you that every month, you know? The light bill, whatever bills you get, cable,
Yep.
you know? It's all based upon the calendar, man.
Yeah, and that's why in this day and age, your bills are usually due on the first day of the month. Like Elder Tower mentions, like Apostle Tower mentions, the rent.